Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my 250 litre tank, which I got custom made. My family chipped in to help me get it, and it's been a long process in the making. So as you can see, it's a really beautiful tank. It's not as perfect as I'd like it to be. It's had a few iterations in its time, but we moved house and some of the plants died, etc. So I'm still working on the layout. Sorry, there's a bit of flickering there. But I'm really happy with it, and I don't know if you can get the full grandeur of the tank from my camera, and it's a bit hazy because I just fed the fish. But I really just want to share this with you guys to show you what you can do with the tank if you put in the effort, if you put in the time and you're patient. It's a well-stocked tank. People probably say it's overstocked, but I've added fish and shrimp to this tank slowly but surely. And as I said, this tank has been going since I think it was 2021. And I used old substrate, and I've built it up slowly but surely, and I've also made mistakes along the way. So yeah, I'll give you a lot of information about this tank as time goes by, but I hope you enjoy it. Quick overview of what's in here. I've got 4 Hillstream loaches. I've got a handful of Black Emperor tetras. I've probably got about 100 guppies in here, more babies than adults. I've got, I think, 14 black neon tetras and around the same number of cardinal tetras. I have a few normal white cloud minnows, 3 otto sinkless. I have a beautiful betta fish, as you can see there. He really is a cool guy, and he's very relaxed, doesn't fight with anybody. I've got probably 200 red cherry shrimp, I think 6 Amano shrimp. I've got plenty of brown cories, and I've got a few orange Venezuelan cories. I've got 1 Julie cory. I'm trying to think what else I have. I've got an albino cory as well. What have I left out? Oh yeah, there's a Lone Ranger Leopardano, long-finned Leopardano. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, there's a peppered cory as well. There's a big peppered cory. And yeah, I just really enjoy this tank. I love sitting and watching it and just seeing these wonderful creatures interact with each other and their cute behaviors. I think my favorite fish at the moment in this tank has to be the Hillstream loach. The Hillstream loaches are awesome, and they have so much character. I love it when they spar with each other and they display. They're lots of fun. So they hang out around those river rocks there. Yeah, I'm sure you can see one of the dudes. He's a big guy. Oh, I forgot to mention, I also have, excuse me, I've got 4 normal coolie loaches and 2 black coolie loaches as well. So I'll show them to you just now. In terms of the substrate, it's pool filter sand, and then at this stage really old aqua soil, so struggling a bit with the nutrient content. Not enough nutrients at the moment, so trying to get that right. As I said, custom tank, 250 liters. I can't remember the exact dimensions. I want to say it's 1.2 meters in length. I think it's 55 meters high, and then the width is, I think it was 45 centimeters, somewhere around there. I'm sorry for our American viewers that I can't calculate that for you. Yeah, I've got 150 watt heater in here, so I'm keeping it at, let's see, what's the temperature there? I think it's like 24 degrees. Yeah, 24 degrees at a constant. I've got a variety of plants. So the Amazon swords don't do too well, so I'm going to pull them out. You can see the one there is really struggling because of the bristlenose plecos. I've got some crypts. They're also struggling a bit, I think, because of the lack of nutrients in the soil, so I need to address that. But what really thrives in this tank is the stem plant Ludwigia repens. So I'll try to show that to you without the flickering lights, although they're the flickering lights. But you can see the closer that they get to the lights, the redder, the pinker they get, so they're really beautiful. And they just work so well, they're really easy to grow. I've got some pennywort, which someone recently gave me. So there you can see it on the surface. I want to say that's water sprite at the back, also given to me recently. I can't remember the name. Apologies for that. If you know, please put that in the comments. I've got, I want to say it's needle java fern, which a young lad gave to me probably 2 or 3 years ago, and been able to propagate it and give it away. I've got a really big piece of driftwood at the back, and it's just covered in moss. So yeah, it's not perfect for YouTube, but I just thought I'd show you guys what it's like at the moment. As I said, I will make quite a few other videos and change things around and pull some plants out. I've got Vallisneria, which also loves the water. I don't know what the GH is coming out the tap, but the pH is 6.8. So I think it might be maybe why some of the plants don't do too well. They need that mineral content. I suspect that the GH isn't too great. Also, I find that my snails, they're struggling at the moment, so I need to get some crushed coral or some calcium carbonate in another form just to help them out. What else am I missing? So what I really enjoy about this tank is it has taken a long time, and I had 3 tiny tanks before this, before I took the plunge with this big guy. I think that's really important to note. You've got to make sure that you're passionate before you make a commitment to a big tank. What is really cool about this tank, because I've done everything slowly but surely, I hardly do any maintenance on it. The only thing I really do is top off with water, and I will pull some plants out when they get too abundant. And that's really such a joy for me because, you know, I've got a really intense job. Excuse me. So I want to come home, I want to enjoy my tank. I don't want to have to do a whole lot of cleaning and maintenance. So as I've mentioned, I've got quite a substantial cleanup crew, which does a lot of work for me. But I've added to this tank slowly but surely. In the past, I got too eager when, I think it was a comedy of errors. I bought a whole bunch of fish, and they were good for 2 months, and then there was a temperature spike, there was a heat wave, and then there was this massive outbreak of ick, and it was pretty tragic. I lost so many fish. I lost plecos, bristlenose plecos, I lost neon tetras, cardinal tetras, hillstream loaches. It was just really sad. So only the strongest immune systemed fish survived. And that's just par for the course in the fish hobby. There's a pretty betta fish. Let's try and get it to focus there. You've got to be prepared to lose some fish. Unfortunately, it's kind of like your school fees. But once you establish an ecosystem, I think this is an ecosystem. I mean, I have a really old, let me show you there. I've got a really old hang-on back filter. And not really doing too much. So what's doing most of the work here is the plants, and I've got a pretty deep substrate. depending on whereabouts it is in the tank, but a jungle of plants, really cleaning the water, making use of the nutrients. And I think what we underestimate in the fish hobby when we have plants is that plants have a lot of surface area for beneficial bacteria. So if you've done any research and you've watched a handful of YouTube videos, you'll hear that being thrown around a lot. But if you look at that mass of moss, it is absolutely teeming full of beneficial bacteria. It's basically like a huge filter sponge. There's a little bit of Anubias that you can see there too. And so the amount of beneficial bacteria in that must be incredible. And again, that takes time. And I know that there are a lot of options out there to quick start a tank and to get something going really quickly. And you're welcome to try that, but that wouldn't be my advice. My advice would be start slowly but surely and gradually add your fish. You can spend a lot of money on the Fritz quick starts and all the other API quick start, etc. But the best thing in terms of your water parameters and the safety of your fish is to do something slowly but surely, because especially in the first 3 weeks, I'd say, the water parameters can swing quite substantially. And obviously that depends on the type of aqua soil that you have, or maybe you're doing a dirted tank, or whatever option you choose. But it takes a long time for a tank to be established and to be happy. So yes, this tank probably is overstocked, but it's a happy tank and it's flourishing, and the fish aren't sick and they're breeding. I say the fish are breeding, most of them are breeding. The cories lay eggs, and I'm waiting for the hillstream loaches they're quite a new addition. But again, I've taken my time, I've done it slowly but surely. So yeah, the water's a little bit green because of the lighting, and you can see I've got a really rudimentary stand that I've made. It doesn't look pretty at all, so I need to sort that out. But I've got sorry about the flickering, I've got 3 20-watt floodlights just bought from a DIY store close to me. And yeah, it's been able to grow most plants really well for me. So I'm just zooming in manually just to show you the coolie loach who's down there. As I said, 4 of those striped coolie loaches. And I've invested money into this tank over the last couple of years. I've invested time. I really have put in effort to get to know fish keeping. I've watched so many videos, and I've joined a forum online in my country. I'm from South Africa, from Johannesburg. And it's an amazing community, I'd say, globally, because people are they really are in it for the fish, and they want to help you look after fish. So in general, I find people are really helpful and kind and generous. Lots of people have given me plants for free and have given me some fish as well. And so I'm at the stage now where, and it has taken a fair amount of money and time, etc., but the hobby is paying for itself, which is really cool. So I have an agreement with a local fish store, pet store, and that's only recently, within the last 3 months, I'd say. And pretty much every month I take them a whole bunch of vallisneria, and I get store credit, and that covers my food. And I had a gentleman buy about 60 guppies from me a few months ago, and again, that's able to pay for the hobby. But that's taken time, it's taken patience. So a lot of people on YouTube, they want to set up these grand tanks and invest so much money into it. And look, if you have that money, go for it, enjoy it. But I'd say rather go slowly but surely, because then it's sustainable, and then you know that you want to do it, you're passionate about it. So this has never been about the money for me, it's always been about enjoying fish. And so that's why I upgraded to this one tank. I gave away the other smaller tanks that I had, and people had given those to me. So I've got a 250 litre tank, and I've got a 100 litre tank at my work, which I'll show you guys as well. But this is what's possible, and it's an absolute joy for me to watch the beauty of God's creation in a glass box. And it's an ecosystem, and I can go away for a week. I come back, the tank is spotless because all the algae has been eaten. And yeah, the fish are happy. The fish usually have babies when I go. And what a joy. So this is what's possible with time, slowly but surely, with effort, and some mistakes along the way. Cool guys, thanks for watching.